Hey guys, it's Vinny for another market update this week. So let's get to it and look at some of the indices first. I'll take a look at crypto as well, and then just a couple of stock picks and how they're doing. So let's look at NQ. So what we were looking at last week was we made this first wave lower on this kind of consolidating this trending move. Usually we're looking for an ABC, so this looks like the A wave. We're looking for a B wave, and then maybe we get a C wave, and we'll see how deep that C wave can get. But it does look like we're building this B wave here, usually in three sets of waves as well. Last week we were looking at this 618 area as potential resistance. We did get a dip. We made about 50% retracement here in NQ. That looks like strong support here. There's price action here that shows this as an interesting level: resistance, support, 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 support. So this is a strong level to bounce from. So we're looking at potentially at least getting back to this 618 level, and maybe we get back to this 786 as well. So that's the area we're looking at. There is this downward trend line to watch out for as well. There's potential for a parallel channel here, so there's you can probably put that there. So watch out for this channel. It does look like we have some momentum to get up to these 618 levels and potentially reach out to the 786. And then I'd be a little bit cautious when we get up there. I think there could be, like I said, a C wave. So this week looks strong. We've obviously opened Monday and we're up 0.7% already. So it looks pretty strong. And similar thing for ES. ES never really consolidated like NQ did. We never made any lower lows, so it's no surprise we made a higher high last week. So the continuing grind higher in ES is likely nothing too spectacular. But let's take a look at, actually before we look at crypto, a couple of stocks. So I'm still bullish. Google, looking for this 50-day moving average to catch up. It's pretty much there. We're at the bottom of this consolidation, so this looks like a typical squeezing pattern here, and I do think we break out higher, and I'm looking for some upside, 10-20% targets higher. Still bullish Facebook as well, and we made a really nice move in Facebook last week, and it does look like we made a breakout of this pullback pattern. And if any of you guys take my course, you can learn about this pullback pattern. As I talk about it in quite a bit of detail, and the price target is around 320 on Facebook. So we'll see if we make that this week or next week. I still like GM. Looks like GM kind of made looking at the action today anyway, it looks like that may be a peak, so we may have to consolidate here for a little while in GM. I'm in some September leaps, and I do think by September, I think we do make another trending high, and I think this can go a lot higher as well. So I'm still really bullish GM. I do like Roku here as well. Some good support here. We made a 786 retracement here, and we're making our way to this resistant trend line. So if we break 375, I do think 420 area is in sight as well. Quite an expensive stock to play via options, but maybe some leaps around May time in the 400 area probably good. I still like FireEye as well. I think we may have spoken about that, but it's just consolidating in this pullback. Looks to be breaking out of this multi-year range, and I think once this starts to break past 25, this could run pretty hard. So those are some alts that those are some stocks I'm looking at. Just looking at crypto, because I know some of you trade this as well. Let's take a look at this. Is an interesting case study actually with bearish divergence on RSI. So we made this first strong trending move higher. I mean, tripled in price. So this is a huge momentum move. RSI in the 90s by the peak. So we got majorly oversold. We made this ABC pullback, and that's usually a pullback trade for another trending move higher. And when we made this peak, a lot of people pointing out this bearish divergence, but I didn't believe that bearish divergence. So when we got here, people were, if this is real divergence, we're going to build a range. and potentially go back to the 618 around 38, 40k. But I didn't believe this bearish divergence here because of the strength of that move. I mean, when you're looking for divergences, you're looking for a significant reduction in the momentum. But we made a 100% move here, and I didn't see that as a a big reduction in momentum. So I'm not surprised we made another high. And now I feel we do have some bearish divergence here. So we can see a divergent high in RSI. We made a higher high in price, lower high on RSI. And I think this is a real divergence. You can see the strength in that move and the reduction in strength in that move. So I do feel like in the short term, at least, Bitcoin, I don't see we make a high above 62k. I do think we have now topped this trending move, and next time for a range to build. And I do think this range breaks up higher. So later in the year, I do think Bitcoin has higher prices, and not sure exactly where we get to. But your guess is as good as mine. But in the short term, I think what happens here is we kind of digest these price areas. Sentiment is still bullish, so people are still buying the dip, and I think we go kind of sideways in Bitcoin. I think that could be a really strong market for altcoins. This is one in particular I'm in and pretty deep is Stellar Lumens. We kind of broke out of this resistance. We've kind of dipped below, but it's acted as pretty strong support. We just need to break a resistance, and I think Stellar can really move higher. There's other alts that look good as well, not just Stellar. So I think while Bitcoin goes sideways, I think alts can have a good time, and I'm looking for these highs to break. And I think with these alts, when we look like we're making a top on these alts, I'll take profits, and I think I'll get out of all altcoins, because like I said, I think Bitcoin will look to make a move lower, and I don't want to be in alts when that happens. So yeah, I'm looking for a range to build with Bitcoin around these prices, 60 to 45k. I think there's strong support here at 42k, so I don't see much lower than this. I think there's strong demand, but definitely a range to build as we gear up for probably later in the year another big trending move higher in Bitcoin. So that's the market update. Feel free to ask any questions, and I'll speak to you guys next week.